Greetings viewers and welcome back. It's Replay Tuesday yet again, but this is our first Replay Tuesday being live on Steam Early Access. How you doing? This is of course RedRupee, and next to me,
I'm Deckard. I'm doing excellent. As you said, this is our first Replay Tuesday in the open beta early access. I'm excited, are you?
I'm excited, and it's been an exciting week. Last week we of course launched on Steam. We had our Dropzone mania here in studio. We also casted alongside Four Court Jester for that first ESL tournament, but that's then. This is now. Let's talk about the game at hand. On the blue side, we've got Noxout. On the red, we've got Majus. And of course, First Blood, Total Vision, and Boss Slayer on the map. What's Noxout bringing to the table?
So it looks like Noxout is bringing Flamers, ECM Locks, Dino Vortex with Scatter Blaster and a Cloning Laser. And meanwhile, Majus has got a build that we saw during the ESL tournament last Friday. It's his Flamers, ECM Locks, Dino Vortex, so the same Vice for both players, but then he's running double Scatter Laser and a Sidewinder frame and Shock Prod. So two of the same builds on Fury and Vanguard. It is a brutal build, I'll say.
Yeah, we've seen him use that a lot, and honestly, a lot of players have been picking it up too. I really like this Pandora tech in response, though. I like seeing the Cloning Laser and the Reconstructive.
Yeah, especially this early.
Yeah, early on you can see he dove those points directly into Pandora. Both players actually playing an invade playstyle. Fury stole that Query from out from under Pandora.
Well, stole it back, because it looked like Pandora was about to steal it.
And it looks, are they just dueling here? They're going one-on-one. I don't think Pandora can outpace, though. That Shock Prod might spit down.
Oh, wow.
First Blood going down for Majus.
And at the same time, Majus was on the other side of the map stealing another core from the upper left hive.
Yeah, he's actually about a half a level up now, and that's not a good position to be considering that Noxout's hives are all farmed, so he's going to be a level behind, possibly two, going into these next couple team fights until the next wave of hives spawn, unless maybe he goes for a boss or something like that, as Boss Slayer is an objective.
Hopefully Noxout realizes this. Instead of just trying to waste time focusing down this rig, he goes off down to the bottom right and tries to steal back some XP as well. Looks like he's going to do that. Here comes Fury. Oh no, he's going for the cap of the Vision Tower. Not sure he realizes he has a perfect chance here, but now it's his. He's got to get out of there. Those 2-to-1 is not going to do him any favors.
Oh, a nice Dino Vortex pulling in on Vice, trying to stop the upload from that opposing Vice, but this Pandora is still up here. That Cloning Laser still on cooldown. But yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. The Cloning Laser is actually a really great damage option that doesn't trigger that Sidewinder frame. It doesn't resist that damage from the Cloning Laser because it is weapon damage that comes off of that turret. And then the Reconstructive Maneuver, of course, easy access, because the one thing about these two gunners is that they don't have any movement abilities. They do have the Combat Rush, so that's something to keep in mind when they're lower health, but even so, I think I just like that summoner build against those ability damages to resistant gunners.
It's a good counter. So meanwhile, we've got 12 minutes remaining, 2-3 on the scoreboard. Boss Slayer is our objective. No alphas to worry about. Finally, the hives on the left side for Noxout respawn.
Unfortunately, I think he was just kind of sitting around looking for something to do and couldn't quite find something. But Pandora going 2-on-1 over here. Let's see. Does go down, but the Cloning Laser didn't get the final shot there.
That's all right,
on that
though.
gunner.
Pandora's putting up a good fight. Doesn't need that final shot. Maybe
I don't
does.
know.
I spoke too soon. Oh, a nice blink away to get to safety on that mind the gap on that jump pad.
Dodged the Dino Vortex just barely. The ECM Locks came in just in the nick of time to save that gunner. Didn't quite manage to get that Total Vision. The red tower still sitting on the southeastern side as these alphas start going down for the tier 2 hives on Knockout. Let's see. Or sorry, Noxout. I keep saying Knockout, but it's Noxout. Too similar to the pilot names. I'm not into it.
And here's another push for Total Vision, but it's not going to happen. Mace is in the upper right corner, decapping that tower already. But maybe Vice and Fury can deal with this Vice together. Maybe getting in position, body block. Uh-oh, there's better be some movement here, because now Vanguard's coming from behind. Scatter Laser going down, and now combined with the Flamers just totally melting that rig away. Vice getting pulled in with the Dino Vortex, gonna get melted away as well. It's very unfortunate for Noxout. 2 rigs down now. This is a perfect chance for Majus to take advantage and cap Total Vision, which he needs to do, which I think he's about to do. Yes, there he goes.
Yeah, you have to be very careful against these kind of builds. Whenever someone's running that tank with Dino Vortex, you have to realize that if you're committing to a fight, you're probably not getting out of it when you want to. So if there's a close battle and you're not sure you can take it, you should probably just bail early on. I know sometimes that's hard to tell, but as we just saw, it cost Noxout 2 of his rigs, and he's now losing total vision as a result, and sitting at a pretty brutal 5-point deficit.
At the same time, though, he did at least take the advantage. Instead of fighting for one of those vision towers, he did take out Vice on Majus during the uplink battle with a cloning laser, though it did not produce another cloning laser because the final shot was from Pandora.
Yeah, so it was a good fight, but unfortunately for Majus, he did lose that rig. He didn't manage to keep up with the firing too much, is stealing a little more on the opposing side. I love seeing those invades constantly come in. And Pandora losing a cloning laser up front. I like trying to save those cloning lasers for the big team fights. One-on-one, especially with that scatter laser, they can actually eliminate those turrets pretty quickly.
Yeah, and also the team fight makes it a little harder to focus on what you want to go first, attack first. You know, that cloning laser sitting around, or maybe you're covering it with all 3 of your rigs to hide it a little bit. But just a moment ago, yeah, Majus was in the upper left corner of the hive, stealing more experience, and Noxout was able to cap his tower and see that. Eventually able to kill that hive and get the cores for it, but he's really needs to go on the offensive now and get over into Majus' side of the map to recoup some of that lost experience, because he is a level and a half squad level behind. But here he is putting pressure at the vision, the uplink with Fury, and Vice was able to just take all that damage and upload that core. And Fury's going to drop in his own core at the same time. But here comes 2 gunners against that Fury. She will get out of there just in time.
Yeah, now that Fury's level 3, pretty much all of Noxout's squad is online. Majus has been for a little while, but still about a full level ahead. I really want to see Noxout go for a boss here. I think the boss combined with that Pandora build could really swing a team fight pretty easily, not to mention put him on the route to a 4-point objective, which he really needs to get back into this game. He's been about 5 points behind solidly since the game begun after those first couple botched battles. Catching up on experience a little bit here, but he's going to have tons of cores over here, and it looks like Majus sees this potential tier 3 hive going down and wants to poach a couple cores. If the hive goes down before he scares off these gunners, they might just run away with a couple cores, considering that Noxout does have all of his rigs full up at the moment. Oh, he's sticking around!
Yeah, too long. Vanguard is going to be careful to get out of there and not follow the fate of Fury. Pandora went back home to get some health, and she's coming back to face this 3v1.
Yeah, Vanguard's trying to stall, but it's ultimately going to be for naught. Oh, actually activating that conductive spike, which will be out of the game.
Stutter stepping, is it going to do it? Yes, one last shot from Pandora, taking out that Vanguard.
I actually thought that wasn't going to be enough. I was afraid that she put the turret just a bit too... She could have put that more forward and guaranteed the kill in case that last parting shot hadn't done it. But it ended up being enough, and this could be the window that Noxout needs to get back into this. It's 6-10 right now, still a good deal behind. I'm not sure. I guess Vice is just looking to heal up. Yeah. I feel like you want that damage there to finish off that hive and get these cores on the map while there's still rigs respawning for your opponent. But we'll have to see how this goes. All the hives are starting to fall on Majus' side of the map. Does have the tier 3 finally up on his side as well. So at this point, I mean, this boss layer is what it's all about, I feel. Oh, there we go, finally. And this has to, okay, I was afraid he was going to go to the jump pad again.
Yeah, with 6.5 minutes remaining, this is a good time, and I don't think Majus has this even in mind. So if Noxout can get this kill and set the game in motion to a different path, Majus might have to rethink his strategy, because he knows that he's in the lead, but he knows that 3 points doesn't hold long.
Yeah, it's 7-11 right now, and with that boss going down, he has to be recognizing.
And here comes Majus again, coming onto the other side of the map. He is just constantly poking Mind the Gap to the enemy territory. Oh, and here comes stunning entry from Fury. Fury going down. Oh, almost going down, but somehow escapes with her own stunning entry. That was unreal.
I guess Majus just felt like that was a potentially game-losing situation if he lost that rig there.
And now this is a perfect time for Noxout to go get that other boss, which it looks like he's going to do, because he knows Fury is super low on health, so it's not going to be a 3 versus 3, ambush during this boss take. He's still got the boss buff from the previous one. Majus is clearly coming up from behind because he can see the vision tower vision, but it's too late. The boss has been killed, and jumping over across the gap into it. Oh no, Noxout's got a bunch of kibosh on his tail, and Vanguard's following very close behind. ECM Lock's going down to save Pandora, but will it be enough? It is enough because that Dino Vortex pulls him away. And now
and
Vanguard goes down.
Vanguard,
and
wow.
Vice, with how much health does Vice have? 11 HP, that's unreal.
Oh man, he needs to be very careful. Oh wow, I would have moved that Fury a little closer.
1 HP! I'm losing my mind.
I can't believe that Vice got out of there. Narrowly escaping death twice. Even, oh man, a nice snipe from Majus right there, making sure that core doesn't stay down. Majus, despite losing that gambit right there, that went horribly wrong, still managing to snag a core, still keeping the pressure on right now.
And look at this, Noxout knows where the positioning is, going to come over and cut off Fury at the pass, at the same time putting pressure on Vice. I like that. I saw that. He could clearly tell ahead of time which direction he was going, and he took the path and cut him off. Vice coming in from Majus to do some kind of pressure on these uplinks from Noxout, but 3 against 1 is not going to let that happen. Where is... Oh, that's right, Vanguard is still respawning.
Yeah, I mean, he had level 5 rigs, and when you're level 5, your rigs die, and they're down for a full minute. It's definitely punishing late game to lose those team fights. It allows a lot of time for your opponent to run around with that power play, but both these gunners now coming forwards, level 4 and level 5. Definitely a lot of DPS coming in from those folks. Noxout probably has to, still not looking bad, 10 to 13. He's got the 2 kills for the boss slayer, so he just needs 1 more boss, but he doesn't want to leave the uplink to go kill that boss at an inopportune time, because this is the time of the game where there's just potentially cores all over the map.
Yeah, but it looks like Majus is coming over. Yep,
I think he's just trying to keep an eye on things. He's still farming on the backside.
When I saw 2 rigs, I was worried that he was going to come and try and take that that boss, but this actually might be real bad. He's getting pinchered if he doesn't get out of there fast enough. All right, so he'll be safe there, and I think this is the perfect time for Noxout to go for that 3rd boss kill.
Yeah, I think it's now or never. He's only got 3 minutes remaining, but it looks like both rigs are looking to they're just constantly monitoring this boss fight. They know it's coming. They're trying to block those 4 points or at least punish him for hitting that boss. In the meantime, there's cores all over the map. See, this is what I'm afraid of. He could go for this boss, but if there's so many cores on the uplink, he might need to just go contest that uplink and deal with these.
Ooh, entry from afar to get the drop on these Vanguards that are patrolling.
Unfortunately, it was from too far, I think. He didn't have the support to get in there. He could have blinked in with Plutus and Pandora and maybe dropped that turret down, but it looks like, okay, 10 to 15 right now. Vice pulling rigs in, just missed the uploading Pandora, fortunately for Noxout, and now a return fire. The Vice might be in trouble. Is he gonna get home? One more shot.
There it goes.
But didn't drop, see, the slight oversight. He should have dropped these cores when he was pushing forward, and then Pandora could have been uploading in the meantime. Every second counts when it's this close. 11 to 15 doesn't look close, but oh man! Scatter laser coming in, and this was the double combo we've seen.
Stunning entry with Angel of Mercy at the same time. That was just melting that Pandora away.
Stunning entry, Angel of Mercy, and 2 scatter lasers. Ripping through health. We see all 3 of those rigs now just limping back home, 11 to 15, with a couple more cores going down for Majus with only 2 minutes remaining. Noxout suddenly very much on the back foot from what could have been a winning position. I don't know. He's still got a couple cores. It's still anyone's game. Both players have a rig down. Vice is going to be up before Pandora though, and Majus is just making sure there aren't any stray cores around.
Okay, Fury's got to get pushed off the other side. Not sure why Fury's just on that side of the map, not really putting any pressure on this vision, on this uplink.
I mean, she just doesn't have the health to battle at this point. You don't, with the Dino Vortex on the field, you don't want to be on the wrong side of that engagement.
Is a killer.
So let's see. It looks like this.
Is Noxout going to go for the boss with 2 rigs?
I think so. I think those Vice is tanky enough to deal with it.
Level 3 Vice is good to go.
But even so, this is the opportunity that Majus has to get those cores uploaded. He's going for the gambit. If this doesn't work out for him, he might actually be thrown the match. Vice is in a lot of trouble, though. The boss is taking tons of damage, but so is Fury and all of Noxout's rigs. Stunning entry goes down to make sure that Boss Slayer gets down there, but 2 level 5 gunners is way too much damage for these injured rigs to deal with, even with that damage buff. 17 to 17.
38 seconds left.
And it looks like Vice does have the final upload. There's still 2 more. He can't fight this. He's only got a Pandora. All 3 rigs are up. What is he going to do? I think Majus may have taken the game, and it looks like Noxout throws in the towel. Whoa. That was a lot there at the end. Yeah. I guess Majus made the right call, because considering where the scores were, there was only one more core that Majus immediately had, so it would have been 18-17, so he could have uploaded those fine, but then Noxout would have been coming in with the boss buff. Yeah. And then probably easily could have forced him out and uploaded the 2 remaining cores he had, taking it to 19-18. So I guess that was the right call, but I feel like if I were in that situation, I probably would have let the boss buff, or I probably would have let the 4-point objective go, and then just tried to upload more because there was so little time. But I mean,
yeah, it's tough on Mind the Gap, because if you're out of position, it's hard to get back into position from that gap jump.
Yeah, definitely. If he'd come down maybe a little bit later after the boss had gone down, because he was getting a lot of extra DPS from that boss. And even we saw Noxout felt pressured to even stunning entry just into the boss to make sure he got the kill. Yeah, and if that had gone down on the rigs with that boss buff DPS coming in, that could have been easily a different team fight at the end there.
Yeah, and I kind of wish Noxout had positioned his Vice a little different, because knowing the pressure coming from Majus from those jump pads, and knowing the lineup you need to do with the level 3 Vice, getting the flames to line up with the minion boss minion, kind of wish he had placed him on the lower left side of the boss, so that even at super low health, he could take that back alley path back to the base, and then Majus wouldn't have been there to snipe Vice at the last second.
Yeah, it's always tricky, and it's always easier to see that in hindsight. Yeah. But man, it was down to the wire. Noxout had so much pressure. I mean, losing the rig right here, losing that Pandora was really brutal right towards the end of the game there. If he had that rig still up, it would have been very different towards the end. But let's see, the squad levels were 12-12, and I mean,
it was a pretty even match. I mean, clearly
we saw. I mean, yeah, it looks
is clearly, you know, you can kind of tell by the graph, like skill level almost based on consistency.
Right. But that boss buff evened it right out. But Majus would have gotten that last upload, no problem. But man, that was some good stuff. Speaking of Majus, though, we actually mentioned earlier that this was a build he used in the ESL Early Access Cup, which just happened this past Friday. And if you want to see more of this kind of play, go check that out. That's available over on Twitch/Play Dropzone. We have the VODs available for you for that entire tournament, cast by myself, Deckard, and of course our special guest commentator, 4-Core Jester. Yes. So check him out too if for some reason you haven't heard of him.
And also, before we go, we have our Steam forums now, so please, if you have replays or suggestions for the game, we iterate every week. We're going to have a new version of the game out every Wednesday, as always. And we are in hyper-iteration mode, so everybody's giving their feedback on the Steam forums. You are more than welcome to join in that feedback session. And we take everything to heart, and we listen to everybody's opinions. So if you've got an idea, or you have a way to improve our game, or something is bothering you, or you find a bug, just report it. We'll get to it. We'll write back. We'll let you know the updates and how it's going, and we will do our best to get into the game as fast as we can if it is something we all agree on.
Yeah, man, it's all about that Steam push right now. So if you have friends that have been looking to get into this game, it's open for everyone now. Go check it out on Steam. And if you do have the game, please leave us a review.
Yes, we would love it.
Recommend us to your friends, all that kind of stuff. It's super important for us to hear from you guys and hear what's going on from the user end side of things. But I think that's it for us this week.
That's it for us this week. We've got Friday night fights happening this Friday. Of course,
we sure do. We're done. That tournament was great, but man, that was a long cast.
4.5 hours.
We're taking it back to the nice hour-long events for you for Friday. Of course, we'll have more events coming forward, and if you've got any you're planning yourself, send an email to community@sparkypants.com. We'll try to get some promotion going for you on social media from our very own sources. So anyways, that's it for us. This is RedRupee.
This is Deckard.
We'll catch you guys next time.
See you, Belters.